Today on Stock Charts in Focus, it is a huge week here around the site. We've got new updates that just rolled out on our new SharpCharts Workbench. We're going to tour you through those, some exciting new features, some big enhancements, some big changes that you guys have been asking for as well. On top of that, as you may have seen, we are kicking off our Black Friday week crazy mega sale going on right now. It is the biggest sale of the entire year here at StockCharts. You can get up to 4 free months of StockCharts service, save almost $200 off the service that you know and love. So we're going to give you all the details of that as well, plus that SharpCharts tour. Lots coming at you on the show today. Of course, you know what it is. It's all new. It's all here. It's StockCharts in Focus. All right, my friends, welcome to the show, Stock Charts in Focus, of course, our product focus show here on the channel where we dig into the site, dive into those tools, walk through those features, and ultimately help you get more value out of stock charts. That's our mission here every Friday up on the channel. My name is Grayson Rose, Director of Operations here at StockCharts.com. Wonderful to be back with you for another episode of the show, especially on such an important week like this one. I gotta say, I think this really is the most important week of the entire year here at StockCharts. We always got exciting things happening. We got new features rolling out. We got product launches and all of that stuff. But as any of our longtime StockCharts members will know, Cyber Monday, Black Friday, around this time of the year, we offer our biggest sale of the year. And this year, we've made it even bigger. We are running what we've usually done as our Cyber Monday sale, only on one day of the entire year. We're running that now, extending it out for Black Friday week. So you actually have a couple of days to save on StockCharts. This is, without a doubt, our biggest sale of the year, up to 4 free months of StockCharts. Again, you can save almost $200 depending on your service level. And you got a couple of different options. You can choose between signing up for 6 and getting 2 free months or signing up for 12 and getting 4 free months. So we're going to jump over to the site in a minute. We'll show you all the details, everything you need to know about that. But on top of that, that SharpCharts Workbench update that we've just done, as you may know, we've been working hard behind the scenes on our new SharpCharts Workbench, taking that classic SharpCharts tool, wrapping it in some new clothes, if you will, and bringing some new life to that SharpCharts platform. Some big things just rolled out on that new kind of beta workbench that we've been showing you guys for the last couple of months. So we're going to take a look at all the features that have just rolled out on that new page as well. So let's jump over to the site and get it going. We're going to kick off today's show from the members dashboard. And the reason why is that this is going to be one of the best places, the easiest place to access that new SharpCharts Workbench. Before we dive into that, though, I do want to touch really briefly on that Black Friday week special. Make sure you know exactly what to do. There are a couple different ways that you can get here. So first up, we've got these big red banners across most of the website now. Obviously some messaging in there, and there's a big Get Started button right up at the top. When you give that a click, it's going to take you over to our landing page for the special. So this is where you can learn more about exactly what's going on. Again, up to 4 free months of StockCharts if you sign up for a new account or if you renew your existing membership this week. Now, we are going to run this actually through Cyber Monday, so depending on when you're watching this show, hopefully it will still be active, but this is live on the site right now. Again, up to 4 free months. You've got 2 options though. Down here on this page, you can see exactly how much you can save depending on the option that you want to go for and depending on the service level that you are at. So by default, we're showing you the biggest savings you can get here. If you buy 12 months of StockCharts, if you sign up or renew for 12 months, again, you're going to get 4 free months of service at any of our 3 service levels, Basic, Extra, or Pro. You can see with those 3 service levels exactly how much you're going to save. $80 basically at the basic level, almost $120 at extra, and if you are a pro member, you're going to save almost $200 off our standard subscription pricing. Now, if you don't want to go for 12, you can click this other button and toggle over to the 6-month option. So if you want to sign up for 6 months and get 2 free on top of that, again, you can see exactly how much you can save at each service level. If you're new to StockCharts, this is a fantastic time to sign up. This truly is, I promise you, our best pricing of the year. It does not get any lower than this. Typically, we've only done this on Cyber Monday, but this year, we're doing things a little bit differently, having an entire week for that Black Friday sale. So you can see, again, exactly how much you can save. If you're new to StockCharts, you can see some of those features that you're going to get at those different service levels. And when you're ready to jump in, you can look for that Renew Now and Save button if you're logged into your account, or if you are a free user, you're not yet a StockCharts member, that button's going to say something a little bit different. It should say Get Started, something like that. So those big green buttons will help you do it. One other thing I do want to point out at the bottom of this page, we have some FAQs. So if you've got any questions, these are sort of the things that we typically hear from people. You know, if I'm not a member, can I still sign up for the special? Yes, you can. Can I still participate if I have time left on my account? Yes, you can. The answer is you can actually sign up for this if you're a current member, and it'll just add time to the end of your account. If you're a previous member and you want to come back, get those charts and scans, things like that you used to have, you can also take advantage of this special pricing right now. So we do have those FAQs down at the bottom of this page, but then on top of that, our team is obviously standing by, as always, to help answer any of your questions. So if you do want to get in touch with us, you can hit that gray button down at the bottom of this page. Reach out. We are here all week and always to answer your questions. Make sure that you are squared away. So this Black Friday week special, sign up right now. This really is the best time of the entire year, our best pricing of the entire year, and that is going to be running, like I said, through Cyber Monday. So you've got a couple of days, but don't delay because it really is going to go by quick, especially with the holiday, Thanksgiving coming up, and everything. You know that things are going to happen. So if you're interested, I would say act now. So let's go back to that members dashboard. Again, you've got that red banner across the top of the site. That's going to be on most pages, but one other way that you can get there, actually, you can go to stockcharts.com/special. That'll take you right to that landing page. Look for those red banners, or if you are a member, you can always access the Your Account page from this menu right here, and there's actually a link to sign up for the Black Friday special right on there as well. So a couple of ways that you can take advantage of that. We'll have these red banners out for the next couple of days. They'll sort of come and go, so you can keep an eye out for those if you want to take advantage of the special. So with that out of the way, let's talk about the very, very exciting things that have just rolled out on our new SharpCharts Workbench. Briefly, I want to touch on kind of what's going on. So we've had a lot of questions about this. The SharpCharts Workbench, the page that surrounds your SharpCharts, if you are a SharpCharts user, that page is getting an update. We're sort of modernizing, taking that thing forward. We're going to make it much more mobile friendly, bringing a lot of new features, new controls, much more kind of dynamic controls and things like that coming to SharpCharts. We've had a great response to some of the things that we've done over in ACP. That's our advanced charting platform, those kind of interactive charts. So we want to bring some of those things over to SharpCharts. It's been a while since that page got an update. And so we have been working on that for, really for the last year or so. We've got a whole team working on that SharpCharts update. Now, rather than just say, here it is, let us know what you think, start using it, blah, blah, blah. We want to involve you guys in the process. We really and truly do want to hear from you. So here on our members dashboard, you can see a couple of these things that we've actually put out. We put these out a couple of months ago, previews basically, kind of a beta release of some of the different things that we are working on. Obviously, one of those is the new SharpCharts Workbench. We're also working on some bigger updates to the charts themselves, some new capabilities and things coming with what we're calling SharpCharts 3.0. And then also a redesigned version of the Market Carpet tool, which I am absolutely loving. And we're going to have another update for that page rolling out in the next couple of weeks. So we'll touch on that when it comes out. But right here, you can get to the new SharpCharts Workbench from this Member Tools section, and you can play around with this. Again, the idea is that we want to put it out there in its current form. We know there's still things that are missing. There's still things that we're working on. Still little tweaks and improvements and fixes and things like that. But rather than just kind of keep the covers pulled back, we want to actually show it to you guys, get your feedback, involve you in this process, and make sure that that you know what we're working on for the next generation of SharpCharts. So we've got great feedback that's been pouring in. We love it though. Keep sending that feedback in. We love hearing from you guys, and we've actually been responding to that. A lot of the changes that we've made recently have been in response to what you guys have been sending in. So you can get to that new SharpCharts Workbench right from here. We're going to jump over there in a sec. I do want to also point out this technology previews page kind of explains some of the things that are going on. So if you want to learn a little bit more about some of these previews that we've put out, we put this page together so that you can actually see a couple of those things and kind of get a sense of what we're doing with these beta releases. So here on the new SharpCharts Workbench, we have got a ton of things that have just rolled out. Now, we're not going to do a deep dive into every single thing that's on this page. We've done a couple of those in the past, and we'll definitely do more of those in the future. Today, we're mostly going to touch on kind of what's new. At a high level, though, what we're trying to do with this new workbench is make it quicker and easier to access the things that matter most to you. We've also tried to bring the charts much higher up on the screen and even give you some dynamic controls for resizing your charts, making it really, really easy to customize the size and the fit of your charts on different screens. So if you compare this to the old SharpCharts Workbench, you'll actually see that the charts are quite a bit further up the page. We've got kind of a slimmer navigation bar right up at the top. We still have key controls though, and we've made some updates to make it really, really easy to access some of these key things. So at the top of this page, you've got kind of your structural pieces of your charts, right? Obviously the symbol, but then kind of period, chart type, the range of the chart, and you even have a quick access menu right up at the top here for key settings. Of course, you've also got access to things like the inspector or the crosshairs. That's a horizontal and vertical line that show you exactly where your cursor is positioned. And you can quickly and easily turn on or off the auto refresh feature right up here at the top. Depending on your service level, that's going to refresh as quickly as we can so that when the market is open, you're constantly getting new data. On the right side of this page, we've got a couple of things, and this will be kind of where we start with some of the changes. So we've got undo and redo buttons. Now, the new SharpCharts Workbench works a little bit differently. The browser back button is not actually going to take you back to previous charts. This page is much, much faster than the old Workbench because one of the big differences is that we're only refreshing the charts. On the old Workbench, getting a little bit technical here, but on the old Workbench, when you requested a new chart, we would actually refresh the entire page. And so you would constantly see the page kind of refreshing and things updating. On the new SharpCharts Workbench, we've made those refreshes on these charts much, much more seamless and much, much faster. So now what you actually have are undo and redo buttons, which will kind of step you back and forth through different changes. If you're changing moving average colors, you're adding an indicator, you're changing the symbol or the period, any of those things, you can always use these undo and redo buttons to move sort of back and forth through your work if you want. So key thing to keep in mind there. We've updated those so it's a little bit more clear what those buttons do with the undo and the redo labels. And one of the big things that we've worked on actually with this latest release is making the page more flexible, more scalable across your different devices. So depending on the device that you are on, the width of the screen that you are on, some things might look a little bit different. Some of the button text and things like that might disappear on much smaller screens. But one of the other big things that we've worked on with this release is making this page work much, much better on tablets and even on your phone. If you're charting on the go and you want to pull up the new SharpCharts Workbench, things are going to look really, really good. Part of the work that we've done there is in the preferences modal. So one of the key things you have is this workbench preferences area, those little gear icons in the top right corner. Now we've kind of restyled this menu. We've made it a little bit more pleasant to use, but we've also added a lot more detail to this menu and one new feature called auto size charts. That is a very, very key feature. So first and foremost, you actually have the option now to position your charts either in the center of the screen or left aligned, kind of like that classic view. So all you have to do is select which alignment you want on your charts here, and then hit save, and that'll be updated. Mine are centered, and now I'm using a pretty wide chart, so it doesn't move quite that much. But if I hit save here, you can see that the chart has now positioned over on the left side of the screen. So we've had actually, a lot of people say, I like the left alignment. We've had other people say, I'd like a center alignment. So we've given you that option now with those two options. One of the other things that we've given you is an auto size charts feature. Now, if you're on a smaller screen, this is going to be a very, very crucial feature. What this is going to do is scale your charts down to fit on any screen size. So if you're charting on a phone, if you're charting on a tablet, anything that has a bit of a smaller size that might be actually smaller than the saved width of your charts, that auto size charts feature up here in the preferences is going to be very, very crucial. Take a look at that, especially, again, if you're on some of those smaller devices, make sure you've turned on auto size charts, and then you'll see everything perfectly fit to the screen, so you don't have to worry about kind of scrolling off to see some of those bigger charts if you have bigger chart sizes on a smaller screen. So a couple of things that have changed there. Next up, we've worked on some of the ChartList navigation that we have right up at the top of the screen. Again, we've made some of these buttons a little bit more easy to use. We've added some text labels to some of these. One of the big things that we've had requests for is an annotate button above the charts. We've now added that. You can see that clearly right there. That blue button will launch you into the annotation mode. Really, really nice to have that. Of course, you do still have the annotate button down at the bottom, kind of like the classic view, but we now have an annotate button right up at the chart, nicely labeled, really, really quick, easy access to that. Also, if you don't have auto refresh turned on, you can always manually refresh your charts simply by hitting this refresh button. You don't have to refresh the entire page. You can simply look for that refresh button, hit that, and it'll give you the latest data on that chart when the market is open. Next up, we've worked through some of the chart list and saved chart navigation. So these menus, which are pretty small, just to kind of save some space, they are actually very, very crucial menus, little components here of the new workbench. If you do have your charts center aligned, you'll see that these sit actually in the center of the screen. If you have your charts left aligned, they'll actually sit off to the left. So depending on the alignment that you choose, again, up in that workbench preferences area, things will move around just a little bit. What these menus do, though, is allow you to access your chart lists, allow you to access your saved charts, and using this button over here on the left side, this also allows you to access your saved chart styles, or those chart templates that you want to apply to different symbols. So we'll actually start with that one, the blue button right here. This allows you to access different chart styles that you have saved to your account. This is kind of a quicker access version of what we have down below the charts, which we'll touch on in just a couple of minutes. But this gives you quick access to any of the saved styles from your account. So for instance, if I jump over to my Bollinger Band style, you can see how quick and easy it is to access that. Maybe I want volume by price on this. These are different chart templates or chart styles that I have saved to my account, and I have very, very quick, easy access to any of these. If I ever want to edit a name or remove a chart style from my account, I can do that using these little buttons. I can hover over any of the styles in my account and quickly access those. And I can also see which style is saved as the default for my account by looking at those little stars. So whichever one has an orange star, that's going to be the default chart style for my account. This is the one that was pulled up on the screen when we first launched the workbench. If I want to change the default, it's really, really easy to do. All I have to do is change that little star, click on another one, and that'll move my default over to another chart style. So very, very fast, very, very easy. One of the other things that's in this menu is a Save New button. So if you do want to add a new chart style, maybe you make some changes to a layout and you want to save that as a new template, or if you want to update any of your existing templates, you can always hit that green Save New button, and you've got a couple of different options in there for saving chart styles. This is new. This is one of the things that we've added, quick controls for saving those chart styles. You can add new ones. You can also update existing chart styles in your account using this menu right here. Next up, you have a chart list menu. So we have this little chevron icon, these little kind of arrows going over to the right, because this is sort of a waterfall set of menus, kind of similar to the old workbench, which put these two menus on top of each other. This is where you can access your chart lists and all of the saved charts within those lists. And we have these little arrows because you're basically accessing a list and then the saved charts within it. So whenever you select a list from here, the menu on the left, it's going to then load in all of the saved charts within that list in the menu on the right. So it's a bit of a breadcrumb, if you will, kind of showing you exactly where you are in your account. So for instance, if I jump into my tier 2 stocking list, which is some of the different things that I am personally following, you can see that now this is selected one of the saved charts from this list. I can quickly navigate through this chart list. I can click on anything in the list to actually see that saved chart. Very, very easy to navigate through here. Or if I don't want to actually open that menu, I just want to flip through all of the saved charts in this chart list, I can use these handy little arrow buttons to simply click through. As you can see, very, very fast. The page is not refreshing. It's just the charts that are getting an update. And actually, if I scroll this down so that my charts are basically all the way at the top of the screen, that position is going to stay. That's one of the really, really nice things about not refreshing the entire page. One of the big updates that we've done here. So very, very easy to flip through these chart lists, flip through your save lists as you go. Again, you've got access to that menu right here. Again, you can edit names or delete charts right from those lists simply by hovering over anything in the list, or you can move through this list using those little arrows. Now, as you go, this is also going to show you kind of the state of things from a saved or not saved perspective. So if I pull up a brand new symbol, you'll see that this is now not saved to any of the lists in my account. I've just pulled up a random chart of Netflix. And so this button is going to change. It's going to give me the option to save this, but it's a brand new chart that I have not yet saved. If I do want to save that to any of the lists in my account, I can hit that green button, quickly select which chart list I want to save it to, and then select a name to save that chart with a name. I hit save and I'll be off to the races. When I select an existing saved chart from my account, things are going to look a little bit different. Now I'm looking at a saved chart that has no changes. I'm looking at it exactly as it is saved to my account already. And so that save button is going to change to be kind of dulled out and grayed out. I can still click on this if I do want to make any changes, if I want to save it, move it, save it as a new chart, any of those things, update the name, add some comments. All of those are still accessible to me. But that gray state kind of indicates, hey, you're looking at the saved chart. There's no need to worry about saving it. You haven't made any changes. If I do want to save that as a new chart, if I want to put it in another list, do anything with it like that, you also have a Save As button that you can quickly jump over to. And that's going to pull up that Save As view in that little pop-up. Now, as soon as I make any changes to this chart, for instance, let's say I change the color scheme to Rainier. Now I've made a change to that chart, kind of a wild one, changing it to a bright purple chart there. And you'll see that these buttons change once again. So again, when I said that the buttons kind of follow along with you depending on the state of your chart, now I'm still looking at that saved chart of APH, but I've actually made some changes to it. And if I don't save this chart again, those changes will disappear the next time I try to come back to that saved chart. So when you see that green save button, if you're already looking at a saved chart, that's kind of an indication, hey, you've got unsaved changes. You probably want to save these if you want to come back to this kind of look. So those save buttons are very, very crucial and give you quick access to some of the saving controls for working with your chart lists. On top of the chart list menu and the save chart menu, you've got a lot of power right at your fingertips right there. Now, if I don't want to save this chart, don't worry about it. I just keep on going. And as you can see, if I now come back to that APH chart, because we didn't actually save it and overwrite that existing version, I'm sort of back to where I was before with that gray button. So the breadcrumb menus, as we're kind of calling it, one of the big things that have changed with this new release. Now I'm going to open up that save chart menu once again because there are a couple other crucial things that we've added in here. We're going to make this a little bit easier to use with our next release, but at the very bottom, one of the things that we've had some requests for is the apply chart style to all function. So all of the charts in this list you'll see are saved with my default chart style. This is the one that I typically like to use. It's kind of the go-to chart style for my account. So all of the stocks in this list are saved with this style. As you can see over here though, everything in this chart list is saved with a daily chart. So let's say I wanted to take everything in this list and save all of those charts, save all those same symbols, but with a weekly chart style from my account. Well, what I can do now is come over to my style buttons over here. I can pull up now a weekly chart. So this is going to be a longer term weekly view. And if I wanted to take all of the symbols from this chart list and save those with the chart style that's now on the screen, that weekly style, I can quickly do that with this button at the bottom. We are going to make this a little easier to access. Right now you do have to scroll to it, so we'll keep an eye out for that in the next release. But down at the bottom of this Save Chart menu, you've got that button right there. Now, I will warn you, this is a bit of a dangerous action. It is going to kind of overwrite all of the charts in your list. But if you've got a list that you're working with and you want to quickly apply a new chart style to everything in that list, this is one of the ways that you can do it. You can quickly overwrite everything using this apply chart style function. You also have the ability to now do that down in our chart list summary panel. So down at the bottom of the screen, one of the panels that we have recently added is a chart list summary. So you can select any of the chart lists from your account using these menus down here. And this actually is going to give you a little bit more control. So up at the top, it's going to be kind of an all or nothing thing. We're going to take all of the saved charts from that list and apply the style to everything in that list. Down here in the chart list summary, you actually have some options for exactly which ones you want to apply any of those styles to. So if you want to do everything, you can click that little checkbox at the top. That'll select everything in this list. And then you can look for that gray apply chart style button and it'll do the exact same thing. It'll take the chart style that you're currently looking at up top on the SharpCharts Workbench and it will apply that to everything in this list. If you want to get rid of everything, you just check it again and that'll uncheck all of those things. If you want to do this on an individual basis though, maybe you only want to select a couple of the charts in this list, the symbols in this list, you can actually select which ones you want to apply that chart style to. So we've made that apply chart style to all function a little bit more powerful here with this new workbench, giving you actually more control over which symbols you are applying those things to. Again, you can check everything, uncheck everything, quickly get out of that. Now on top of that, we've brought over possibly my favorite feature of this new release. I think it's one of my favorite features from ACP. We've brought over something called Load Symbol Only. So at the very top of that menu, you might have noticed this when I first opened it, there's now a checkbox called Load Symbol Only. This is something that we brought over to ACP. It has been warmly received, and I am so thrilled that we're adding it here to the new SharpCharts Workbench. So this is kind of the in-between between the apply chart style function. This is kind of apply chart style light, if you will. Again, when you apply a chart style to all of the saved things in your list, you're actually overwriting them, right? You're saving all of those charts, saving all of those symbols in that list with a new chart style. Sometimes that makes a ton of sense. You want to take everything in the list and you want to save it with a new style. You want to save it with weekly charts, save it with monthly charts, save it with a new set of indicators, any of those things. Other times though, when you're just researching, maybe comparing and contrasting different stocks within a list, sometimes you really just want to temporarily take that list and review those symbols with a new chart style, whether it's a new set of indicators, a new period, a new range, whatever it is. So the load symbol only function is going to give you that ability. Kind of on the fly, it's going to allow you to work with your chart lists without overwriting anything. So what I mean by this, again, let's review this really quickly. If I go through this list, all of the charts in this list, as you can see, are going to be saved with that gray daily style with the price relative line up at the top, a couple of moving averages, and volume. Let's say I wanted to take all of the stocks in this watch list though, and I wanted to review those with something crazier, like our Bollinger Band style that we looked at before. Well, I might not want to overwrite everything in the list, but I am curious to review those stocks with this Bollinger Band style. This is exactly what the load symbol only function is intended for. So I can now check load symbol only, and if I do the exact same thing that I was just doing a minute ago, I click through this list, you'll see that now, instead of the saved style coming up with that chart, all it's going to do as I click through that list, it's going to pull up those symbols. It's going to load the symbol only with the chart style on the screen. So I haven't overwritten anything. My saved charts in this list are still my saved charts in this list. Nothing has changed. I'm just sort of temporarily reviewing these with a new chart style. Personally, I find this very, very helpful for multi-time frame analysis. That's one of my favorite things to do. So if I turn this off, again, let's go through this list. You can see that everything is a daily style. I might want to start at the top of this list though and review everything with a long-term weekly style. I want to get a sense of the long-term view on these different stocks that I'm comparing. So now we can see this is a weekly style going all the way back to 2009. This is a 15-year chart. Well, instead of overwriting everything in this list, I can simply hit load symbol only, click on to the next one, and we're reviewing everything in this list temporarily with that long-term chart style. Load symbol only is a very, very powerful addition to the workbench. So powerful, in fact, that it's probably one of the things that we're going to keep highlighting in the weeks and months to come. Again, I love that we have this. I've really, really enjoyed working with it in ACP, and bringing it now to the SharpCharts Workbench is a big, big boost. So if apply chart style is one of the things that you've been asking for, one of the things that you use, definitely give that load symbol only a shot. I think you'll find that it can be very, very helpful to just kind of temporarily review those lists that you're working with a new style without having to overwrite any of your saved changes. Especially if you've got annotations on your charts or you use horizontal line indicators or anything like that, you've kind of marked specific levels, this can be very, very helpful. None of that saved work will disappear on you. So check out that load symbol only function. Down a little bit further, again, we've done a lot of work to make sure that things are scaling properly across your different screens. We touched on our new ChartList summary table. This is going to continue to expand. So we're going to have other fields for your chart list: price data, fundamental data, different technical values, market cap, all of those different things you can get on kind of the classic summary view outside of the SharpCharts Workbench. We will be bringing those to this chart list summary down here on the SharpCharts page. One of the other things that we've added though is a new group of alerts panels. So again, the idea here with these panels below the charts themselves is that this list is going to grow over time. We're bringing more features to the SharpCharts Workbench besides just those charts. We want to make this really kind of a one-stop shop for you, bring in a lot more of the tools that you need access to right on this page to speed things up, make your workflow a little more efficient. So 3 of the new ones that we've added here are price alerts. You can now access any of your price alerts, see what you've set, click on those to edit them, different things like that. You can see your price alerts right down here on the SharpCharts Workbench. Same thing with your advanced alerts. You can see all of those advanced alerts that you have saved to your account, check the status of those, and if you want to edit any of them, you can quickly click that name. It'll open up that alert outside of the Workbench. And on top of that, we've also added predefined alerts. So some of those kind of classic, big moves in key names, key indexes, things like that. We've got predefined alerts down here as well. So NASDAQ crossing above specific levels. We've got sector BPIs in here. We've got things like oil, technology sector BPI there, S&P 500 and NASDAQ, tons and tons of stuff. You can now get all of that predefined alert history right here in this predefined alerts panel on the SharpCharts Workbench. So this list is going to continue to grow. One of the next things that we're going to be bringing out are chart comments, the ability to edit your chart comments right from this page. Of course, this joins other things like our ChartList library, our ChartStyle library, and the whole settings area when you can manipulate your chart. So lots of different things that we're going to be adding in here. Also looking into to scans, the ability to actually run scans and get those results right from this page and then review those charts up above. Lots and lots of very, very cool things coming with these panels. One of the other things that we have added, by the way, we've got this create alert button that lets you actually set those price alerts dynamically right from this page. Very, very happy to have that. And on the right side of this kind of actions button, we touched on that annotate button, the create alert button. We've also built out a couple more features in this group. So we've actually got a quick link button right there. If you do want to share any of your charts, you can quickly do that now with that little link button. Also, under the share menu, you do actually have that link to chart option, but you've got other things like downloading the chart image, emailing and printing are going to be coming soon. Same with social media stuff, but sharing your charts right from the Workbench going to get easier. Of course, we've got our more tools area. If you want to jump to any of those other tools around the site, options page, symbol summary, different things like that, you've got that in here. And if you've ever got questions, or if you want to share your thoughts on the new Workbench, you've got that handy little help menu right in there. One of the other nice things that you do have is a right-click menu. So if you ever right-click right on your charts, you've actually got a lot of those options built in right here. If you ever want to save your charts, create a new chart style, launch the annotation window, create an alert, or some of those different sharing options in here as well, you've got those accessible simply by right-clicking on your charts. A very, very nice little feature. Finally, to kind of take us back to where we started, we've actually added a few more links up in these help menus at the very, very top, the navigation menus. So quicker access to your dashboard, we've got that in the member menu, as well as the hamburger menu up at the top. We've actually made your dashboard the first thing in there. It is so important, so we wanted to make it easy to access your dashboard in just 2 quick clicks. So that'll take you right back to where we started today's show. So that's where I'm going to leave you. A quick tour of our new SharpCharts Workbench. Again, so many more things coming as we get closer and closer to making this a real page on the site. Still a bit of a beta, but again, we want to put it out there for you guys. Get your thoughts, get your feedback, get you guys excited about some of these big new things that are coming to that new Workbench. So hopefully you've seen the power of a couple of things that we've added with this latest mini release here for that new SharpCharts Workbench preview. We're going to have more things coming out in the next few weeks and of course the next few months. We've got big plans for that new Workbench. So take a look now. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you still want. Tell us about your workflow. We're really taking thoughts from our users right now and saying, okay, this is kind of your process for doing this, and that's how we can make things better. So any of the feedback that you have on that new page, we are listening. We are all ears. We're excited to hear from you guys and incorporate that into the new SharpCharts Workbench. Of course, don't forget our special Black Friday week sale going on right now. StockCharts.com/special is going to be the way to get there if you don't have those red banners up at the top of the site. But keep an eye out for those. They'll be up for the next couple of days, but limited time only. Get those 4 free months of StockCharts. Save almost $200. It really is our biggest pricing of the year. Best pricing of the year, biggest sale of the year. This is the time to extend your account if you're a current StockCharts member. Or if you're brand new and you want to sign up, you've been exploring some of those premium features, you want to take advantage of some of these ChartList features that we're showing off today, some of those new things you can do with that SharpCharts Workbench, you got to be a member. So now is the time to sign up with that biggest sale of the year. We'll have a link in the description below. But again, StockCharts.com/special will get you there, or look for those red banners across the top of the website. I want to thank you again for joining me on the show today. We do this every Friday. This week, a little bit different. Wanted to get this special Black Friday week episode out there for you guys so you know what's going on. But typically, we do this show every Friday, digging into the site, talking about tools and features, ways to get more value out of StockCharts. So if you've enjoyed what we've done today, we've always got more coming for you. New things happening around StockCharts. There's going to be a ton of it in the next couple of months, especially as we gear up for a big site-wide product release next month. We got big things coming next month in January and beyond. So lots happening around the site. Of course, this is going to be the place to hear about all of it. My name is Grayson Rose, Director of Operations here at StockCharts. Again, thank you for joining me on the show today. I'll see you very soon. If you celebrate, happy Thanksgiving to all of you. We will be off this Friday since we're doing this episode earlier in the week, but we'll be back next week with another episode of StockCharts in Focus. Until then, chart on, my friends.